What's going on, Sumolings? It's Lindsay from AppSumo. Thank you for joining us for another product webinar. We're going to dive into today's product, BounceCast, in just a minute, but I want to give everybody a second to get settled in. BounceCast is an intelligent digital audio app for recording, enhancing, mastering audio files on desktop and mobile platforms. It's an awesome tool that's available on AppSumo right now, starting at just $39. And we are joined today by the COO, Christian, and the CEO, Ansi, of BounceCast, who will be joining us in just a minute to give y'all a walkthrough and answer your questions. But first, I want to tell you a few quick things. One, you can tell us a little bit about yourself and your business in the chat room on the right-hand side. We'd love to hear about you and why you are interested in learning about BounceCast today. The next thing is, if you have any questions about the tool, leave those in the Q&A box down below. Christian will be down there answering some of your questions and talking to y'all, but we will also loop back to those questions at the end of the webinar in case, number 3, you're watching this in the replay. There will be a replay of this sent out, so if you need to step out or if you're afraid you're going to miss something, don't worry, you can watch this as many times as you'd like. All right, let's get started. Christian, Ansi, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you. Great to be here.
Thank you. Yeah, glad to be here. So, what's up, Sumolings? It's our first webinar, so we are kind of like, dripping sweat and all, don't slaughter us.
Well, I'm going to pass this over to you. I'm going to turn off my mic and my camera, and you're good to go. Have fun.
Thanks.
All right, cool. Hey, Christian, can you mute yourself as well? Your typing is quite... Yeah, thanks. So cool. I think I'll just, start by showing the product. I'll share my screen now with you guys so you can, get a glimpse of what's to come there. Now you should be, I'll just put this like here. Yeah, so essentially what BounceCast does, it lets you either record your podcasts, get them automatically mastered to kind of like a professional standard. And also you can easily get the audio cleaned up with our intelligent noise removal, click removal, rumble filter. And if it's stereo input, you have also the stereo balancing option. I'm actually going to show you a quick kind of like 3 use cases, and then we can hop on to the questions and use cases you might have to keep it kind of like conversational and go through all potential options. So one thing I've or one thing we've seen our users actually asking a lot is that does this work for video audio? Let's say that you're a video content creator. You shoot very nice videos, but still the audio quality isn't up to par. And the good news is that you can actually run your video audio tracks through BounceCast as well. You cannot yet directly upload an MP4 file or a MOV file and get it mastered. But here's how you can do it. So you open up your favorite video editing software. So here I have a small snippet of a microphone. And I'll just export that. And I'll just only export the audio. And I can, check here that, I want it as a WAV file. Let's see, okay. Audio of video, export, boom, it's most probably already done. And then I just, go on to file import, go to downloads, and boom, get it automatically mastered. And as you can see here, the smart audio enhancement is on. So now it has applied the EQing, limiting, and compression to a professional standard. I can play it back if I want to, or then I can, you know, trim it from the beginning or the end, and also apply the special processors. So noise removal, click removal, and rumble filter, these were already done before the AppSumo campaign went live, but we actually had a lot of user feedback that they would want to sound like a kind of like a radio host. So we actually ended up adding this epic radio host voice, which actually makes your speech sound more warm and bassy, just like you have on radio. Now, once you're happy with the results here, you can then export the file into all of the major file formats you want. So, for example, I want an MP3 file to, you know, push to, for example, Spotify. I want kind of like a high-res WAV file for my own records. Then, you know, even potentially a FLAC file. Highest quality. Then I click export, choosing to where I want to export it. Let's see, video, audio, processed. And when I click save, it automatically does boom. And now you can see it from here. It just created 3 files on one go. Super easy. Okay, then the next thing, let's just quit this, start a new recording. And then when I want to record a podcast, I just hit record, start talking about, you know, cats, dogs, and even those microphones. And once I'm happy, I can just go to the review phase, boom, after which it gets analyzed and evaluated and automatically mastered. And as you can see here, we detected automatically that there is some noisy or something else happening. So now it actually detected that there are clicks. It automatically triggers the click removal on. You can, you know, if you don't want to remove those clicks or reduce those clicks, you can just uncheck it. Let me just run this. And then obviously run it to, oh yeah, these formats. Boom. Easy, easy, easy. Okay, so then you might actually have a use case where you have, let's say, 52 episodes from 2004 up to 2019, and you just haven't had the time to actually, you know, do anything about it. So you can easily select the whole archive. I have 12 different file format files. Open it up, do the smart audio enhancement. I'll just actually do just a kind of like a mid-res MP3 file. And at this point, when I've chosen the folder, I can just now go grab a coffee or even, you know, start answering your questions. So you can actually leave this on. It'll just, you know, run the whole archive for you and create the files automatically here. Boom, 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 and 2 more booms. Done. So yeah, that's essentially, in a nutshell, that's it for the product demo. You don't need to do anything. You just, you know, create awesome content and let us or the app do its magic. And that's actually kind of like what there is to it at the moment. And so I could actually take a couple of minutes of time to share a bit of the user feedback we've gotten and kind of like the use cases. So currently obviously we have podcasters, but also we do have a lot of video content creators which want to run all of their video recordings, audio tracks through BounceCast. So whether you're in the kitchen or you have a desktop machine that has fan noise, you don't know, or you don't have the time to actually go on and remove them, it's super easy to just run it through BounceCast and get a noticeable difference in the audio quality. Also what we've seen is that there are voiceover actors, audiobook creators, you name it. It's basically endless. We even have a singer who was singing in her car and wanted to remove the car noise, and that was a kind of like a really tough problem. And our machine learning team took the audio and started to actually researching on it to see what could be done with that. But yeah, that's essentially what's the app all about right now. Okay, I think that there are 37 questions or 37 comments there. So could you, Christian, or someone, Lindsay, potentially start asking those questions?
Absolutely. So if you have any questions, Sumolings, you can always go ahead and leave those in the Q&A box down below. In the meantime, I do see that we've received some questions over the chat. And Christian has been chatting with y'all, so I know that there's a lot of them, and I hope to answer. I hope that we can get most of those to you. Let me scroll up to the beginning. A lot of you, the first question that I see is the software online, or do I need to download? Oh, thank you for asking these in the Q&A.
Yes, so it's a downloadable app. Currently, it works on Mac and Windows devices, and our mobile apps are in internal beta testing. So you will be able to download them onto your favorite phone later this year in Q2.
Wonderful.
Towards the end of Q2.
So this is the question that I was most anticipating, the one that all of our Sumolings, I'm sure, want to know. Do you have a public roadmap, and what are you most excited about coming up?
Yeah, so at this moment, we don't have a public roadmap, but what we actually did this week is we gathered all of the user feedback and requests we've gotten on AppSumo and on our own customer support chat, and we started to prioritize them. And we are thinking of publicizing the roadmap, but it's not just yet tidied up. But there are a lot of feature requests coming in, and we want to build those features which are most requested of us.
Wonderful. This question from Scott, can you speak a little on the audio editing plans? At the moment, it seems you can snip audio at the beginning or end of audio clips, but basic audio editing feature at any point in the clip would be a killer addition.
Yes, yeah, and this has been a feature that has been requested a lot, and our DSP team is actively now looking into the matter and seeing how that could be possible easiest, and also at the same time doing other audio things too, like adding an intro and outro, for podcasts. You have the audio jingles. So yeah, we are actively researching on how to make it happen into the upcoming updates.
Awesome, love that. Can you tell us a little bit about, it seems that, can you speak on what some of the top feature requests have been?
Yeah, so easy one-click distribution. So once you've done with the podcast, just push a button, it opens up a dialog, and then it automatically gets pushed to all of the podcast listening platforms. That has been one of the most requested features. Now, on the audio processing side of things, people actually have requested this kind of like, how do you say it? It's ambient noise removal. Like, you might have dogs barking or, frogs, frogs serenading in the background, or having some kind of music or other, unwanted things in the background. And our machine learning team is actually experimenting on how to remove those kinds of sounds also.
Awesome. Thank you. Question. I have a recording. I like this question and I'm curious about the answer, but I don't know that it applies to any other person. I have a recording which is about 20 years old. Would you be able, will BounceCast be able to clean up this audio? They don't have an original of it. They only have something, they took the recording off a tape and ran it through Audacity.
Mm-hmm. So is it a C cassette or VHS tape recording?
It sounds like it's a file.
Yeah, but is the original recording ripped from a VHS or a C cassette?
Honestly,
so is the
probably.
quality like 20 years old?
Yeah.
Because
I mean, we're
yeah,
a cassette, yeah.
Yeah, because we actually in 2016, 2017 for our music mastering product CloudBounce, we did some research on how to kind of like do audio restoration for old VHS and old C cassette tapes with mixed results. So the issue actually comes from the source material being skewed because the C cassettes and VHS tapes, they contain a band, and when the band stretches, then the the audio track also becomes how do you say it, skewed.
Yeah, I've heard this before. I remember I haven't owned a cassette tape since Janet Jackson in the 90s.
Yeah, me neither. I switched to CD Walkman when it arrived. But yeah, so that's a tough issue. I know that there are some products like the Isotopes RX, but it's pretty expensive and it requires you to be the audio nerd. So it's not an easy task, but we have been researching on that. But let's see.
Good to know. Good to know. And thank you for the question. We don't have any more questions in the Q&A. If y'all have questions in the Q&A, go ahead and leave that. But I have seen this question come up a couple times. Do you have a live sample that you can play for our audience? Or no pressure, but do you have anything?
Yeah. Actually, I'm just thinking that can you hear our, can you hear the audio I am playing from YouTube directly? Because, for example, I did a video 2 days ago.
Let's see.
Can you
Let's find out what happens.
Can you hear that? I'm pressing play now. Can you hear it?
No.
Yeah, you can't hear it. Go to our YouTube. Go to our
Great.
Yeah,
there's
go
a
to our
sample
YouTube.
on YouTube.
There's the audio sample for you. Yeah, so you need to actually go there. But the cool thing here is I'm actually going to show you from the screen here. So when you click on the show more, you have the original no processed audio file. It's a WAV file. You can download it. And also the processed WAV file. You can download that too and listen to the results yourselves. You can put these onto Audacity and, solo mute the tracks like I did here. Where did I do it? Yeah. So I did a comparison here. No processing and with processing. You can do this in Audacity. That's
We
the
had a
kind of like,
very helpful
that's the
person
best.
link the video. Just a heads up to anybody who's curious about this.
Yeah.
We have somebody
Did someone link
in
it?
the chat who linked it. Oh, but it looks like it went to panelists. Let me go ahead and send this to everybody. Thank you so much,
Yes.
Christian. Very helpful,
Yeah.
and thank you everybody for sharing this with us.
Cool.
The next question that we have, when using a remote recording tool for recording a podcast, the output of the recording is 2 files, one for each speaker. Can BounceCast merge these 2 tracks into a single one?
And not today.
Great.
But that also has been a very, very requested feature. And our web team is looking into how to actually support the remote interviews in a way that it's automatically then, you know, after the interview is done, all files are sent to the host's BounceCast app. So essentially the host would actually have, I'm going to record real quick here and showcase to you guys. The host would then have multiple waveforms like speaker 1, then below speaker 2, speaker 3, and it would be automatically mastered and combined into a single file. So that's what we're currently experimenting on the web and app side of things.
Wonderful, thank you. The next question is more about the deal. Is it possible to make the deal for more than one computer? It appears
Yes.
that many Sumolings are using laptops and desktop, so one account with 2 computers seems more ideal. Is that a possibility, or do you have a recommendation for them?
Yes, so we actually listened to you guys and we upped the amount of licenses.
That's
so
amazing.
Now when you buy one code, you actually get 2 desktop devices instead of 1. So
amazing.
It's already solved.
I love that. I love when there's an issue that comes up and it's already been solved. That's my favorite thing.
And also continuing on that, because we saw a lot of questions coming from users that, you know, hey, can I share these with our teammates? Of course. So if you buy 2 codes, you can obviously give the other code to your friend, like sign up with a different email. It's already paid code. So yeah.
Great.
You can use it.
Thank you. Thank you for that clarification. And that's always good to know. I use a Chromebook. Will I lose out on any functionality?
Yes. Currently, you can't use it on Chromebook. So I think that Chromebook runs on Android. So you have the Android Google Play Store. You will need to wait until we have the Android app ready, but it will be ready within, I would say, like 4 weeks. It should be out. And you won't be missing on any features on the Android version.
Wonderful. And I did see somebody asked earlier, and I just do want to make sure everybody does know that, yes, you will get all of the upcoming features when you get the deal. It comes with it. You can, all of these things are things that you too can look forward to. Yay, awesome. We don't have any more questions right now in the Q&A. I'm like a little nervous to close it, so I'm going to give everybody just a couple more seconds to submit any questions. We got one.
Yeah, and was there anything in chat?
If my source audio was recorded at a certain sampling frequency and bit rate, let's say 96 kHz sampling and 24-bit, does BounceCast preserve those frequencies and rates when exporting the enhanced version, or does it downsample to something lower?
That's actually a good question, and I don't actually know the answer right now, right off the bat. I could try it. I have my Ableton somewhere. Yeah. Let's see. I can actually do a live demo here.
We'll find out together.
Put, you know, some kind of things here. Would I have some wave here, like one wave file? Does it even exist? Yeah, it does exist. I was supposed to do a remix of a track, but I never got the chance to. Life got in the way. So I'm actually I'm trying to be a music maker as well, but I just can't find the time there. Okay, so okay, let's try bit depth 2496, then export to desktop. Let's see. It might be that it does downsample it, but I don't want to lie to you guys. Where was it? There. Well, that takes a long time. Hey, by the way, one cool use case and a pro tip. So when you have an iOS recording done on your voice memo, you get an M4A. And if you have a Mac, you can process the M4A directly on the BounceCast Mac app. But obviously, it does not work on a Windows computer. So if you're exporting your M4A files onto a Windows machine, convert them to a WAV file and then run it through BounceCast. So the M4A import support is only available on the Mac app. Okay, let's see. WAV file. Does it work? Yeah, but yeah, that's kind of like, okay, I can actually take another question.
Let me give you some more questions. Say we record something without a microphone, like on a computer, and it's not that crisp. Will BounceCast make it studio quality?
Can you repeat that question? The
sure.
line
if they record something without a microphone, like on the computer, so like without like a fancy mic, just a regular mic, and it's not that crisp, will BounceCast make it studio quality?
Well, not studio quality. You can't get studio quality when the raw source material isn't, optimal. But what you can get is a very, very professional sounding, like my iOS recordings, which were recorded without a mic, without an external mic, just using the iPhone's mic, there was at least 30% improvement. And also when I ran tests with the built-in microphone on my Mac, the difference was, spectacular.
Fantastic. What do we have here?
Get info. Okay, so to answer that question, it did preserve the sample rate and the bit depth.
Wonderful. You hear that, Dave? We did all of that for you. Wonderful. Thank you so much for doing that. All right, I think we can go ahead and, oh no, we can't. More questions came up as soon as I said that. I have digital videotapes teaching inside of arenas with a video camera mic. Will I be able to change or improve them? Once again, it's been a while. It's been 20 years to now. The last 10 years where a camera used hard drive.
Okay. That might also be, it's a 50-50 chance. I can't answer right now.
Sure.
What I would like you to do is download the free trial. Try it out first. If it works, then, grab the AppSumo deal. If it works. And, I would also say that, if you have one sample recording, you could also send it to our team, to our audio engineering team, and we could look at it and try to figure out what could be actually done with it.
That's wonderful. Very, very kind of you. Thank you. Yeah, I think that about wraps us up. I'm sorry, I didn't close the questions, but so it looks like there's some there, but I think we're done. Thank you all so much for joining us today. Thank you all for your questions. There are still some more, I'm sure, going to come in. So go ahead and leave those on the deal page. We'd love to hear from you. You can also leave them in the comments beneath the YouTube channel if that's where you're watching this now. Regardless, if you have not already redeemed your code for BounceCast, I highly recommend you head over to appsumo.com/BounceCast, or it's under browse right now. It's starting at just $39. And it is backed by AppSumo's 60-day guarantee. So feel free to get set up, play around with it, see if it will help with your cassette recordings. I love that so much. And just in general, see how it works for you. Let us know in the comments how it's going and what you're doing with it, what you're creating. We'd love to hear any samples that you have. And then, of course, leave your questions on the deal page. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us.
Thank you, and enjoy your Easter weekend, and stay safe, wash those hands, and stay epic.
Wash your hands, everybody. Thank you so much.
All right.
Have a good one.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.